Monday morning. There's nothing better to do on a fine day like today than come out to the shop, work in the cold, make some paper dolls. That's what I've been doing this morning. See, I got the floor all done on a cardboard. I've been using cereal packets. My wife's been saving them up for me. Luckily, she likes this stuff. So, I thought the easiest way forward was to make a full paper template and get it in place, make sure it all lines up. Funny thing about cars, nothing square, nothing 90 degrees. It's all like off a bit or funny angles and stuff. As a carpenter, that's weird. So like the edge along the sill there is 5 degrees out. Don't know why, that's just how it's made. Well, this one here was made straight at 90. It didn't fit. So, 5 degrees out. Got it all lined up, held in place by magnets right now. It sticks out here. This will have to be trimmed off as part of the repair of this whole panel. But that's enough to move forward. First thing I'm going to do is have some tea, warm up, and before I get launching into metal. Yeah, that's the Monday morning update. Well, there you go. Tacked in place. Lining up like it should. No big gaps. Well, except for that one on the side. But that's supposed to be there. I'll fill that in later. Now, do the other side. So I just made the template for the driver's side, front floor panel where your feet go, and I wanted to compare it to the panel that I ordered online. So I have the cardboard template here and the floor panel behind it. This part I'm not worried about. I took that off on the other side because that's still good metal on the car. Here you can see the gap in this edge should be at an angle and not kicked over this way. So there's that. Also, it should be a lot longer. It's just too short. And then I have a notch cut out of it because of the way the transmission tunnel panel goes. So it's also this edge, you can see the wedge there. It should be at an angle too. Anyway, I thought that was interesting to see the difference between what should fit and what was sold to me. So I'm in the process of bending this up. I don't have a bending brake, so I just bought this, it was a meter of angle iron, and usually I put it in the vise, but this is such a long piece I wanted to clamp it down in several places. So I have it clamped down on the edge of the table, and then I just push it over. Let me show you how to do that. So this panel needs something interesting. It needs a bump here to go over the seam that's on the frame. So what I'm going to do, because of this corner, if I just beat on it, it's really going to have a hard time pushing all the metal. So I'm going to make a relief cut up there, and then form this on the anvil? No, the vise. I'll show you how I have that set up. First, I drill the relief Alright, don't know if you can see that very well. Focus. Anyway, got a hole drilled in it, filed it, kind of elongated it at the bottom. Now I'm just going to beat on it. Try to get the metal to take the form. Little bump in the vise here. I just have I'm going to use this clamp because it's it's about the right thickness as the seam in the frame. It's nice and straight, clamps in tight. I don't think I'll do any damage to it. Anyway, here we go. You see already, we got a nice little curve going. I don't know if that's enough to account for the bump in the frame, but it's a good start. All right, let's put that in and see if it fits. Well, as I'm fitting this into place, I found that this was a bit too long, so I had to chop it off a bit. And this right here, I don't know if you can tell that on the camera, but it's bowing it up. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the relief all the way across here to get this flat, because this is keeping it from going all the way against the other piece. And through the magic of video editing, it fits perfect the first time. Just kidding, it's been in and out like 6-7 times. It's not bad. Now I don't know if this originally had a bump here, but considering there's bumps back here, cover this one, I think it's the way to go. This was definitely under this piece, so I've wedged it in there. But I'm pretty happy with the fit. Need to trim it off at the top and get it ready to tack in place. Good morning. It's day 39. They're just flying away. I just got finished tacking the driver's side floor pan in place, which means we have an entirely new floor from front to back. This is a big step. Of course, I need to finish up the welds and grind them down and blah, 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 but it's in place. You can see solid floor. Nobody's gonna fall out and die. So this is my next step. I ordered this part from AH Spares. This one goes on the rear, it goes there. They have the other one on back order, so I'm simply going to make it. I'm going to trace this one out, add the extra 1/2 inch for the flange around the edges, and just bend it the opposite direction. So I'll have 2 of them. There, I got it all traced out. Added the flange, which was 5/8 of an inch. I'm not sure if my bolt's going to be long enough to do that. I might have to make a new one. So there it is, cut out. I just have to make sure I bend it the right way, or I'll have 2 of the same one. I broke my new tool. Well, bent it anyway. That's alright, it was too deep. Oh hey, look, this is what I used. Good old crescent wrench. I got it all bent. Well, one side bent. Nice flange. Pretty simple. You just have to make sure your depth is correct with the crescent wrench. That you're not too short or too deep. Doesn't have the nuts for adjustment like my wonderful broken bolt now. So there it is, nice and roughed out. Still needs some more work, but you know, that's the rough form. Got to straighten up some corners and stuff, and there's a bit of a warp to it now I need to straighten out, but not bad. I'm happy with that. You know, irony of life, while I was cutting this out and forming it, got an email from AH Bears saying, that back ordered part you ordered, it's in if you still want it. Funny timing. So today is day 40, I think. Not advertising here. I've made a little template I'm on the passenger side, just to get this curve, make sure, so I can compare the other side, see how it goes. So I got this. Bring it over here. Flip it backwards. Put it in place. It should be this corner. Should drop down to there. You see that line there? That's where it lines up. So I need to bring this down to here. I already got this panel tacked in place. I can take it off. It's not a big deal, but I have it in place so it's solid and it's not moving. I got both doors on, by the way. I can kind of get this one shut, but this whole thing should be down below that. You see the edge here? It should be down in here, not up even with it. So, I need to start making some adjustments. I think I can do it on the car. It's not a big deal. Well, I'm kind of playing around to see how the door fits compared to other things. I've had the fender sitting on there, and now I'm trying this, what's it called? This panel, the bottom panel on the sill. Here's a fiberglass one that came off of it. It's a little odd. I have the door has some adjustment in the hinges, and I have it all the way in. With this clamped to the sill down there, I end up with a gap. I believe this is supposed to sit out even with the door, so it creates one continuous flow to the line, but it ain't doing that. It's sitting in half an inch, and I'm out of adjustment. There's nothing else I can do with the hinge. Both top and bottom hinges are pushed in all the way, so I'm not sure what to do. Good morning, day 41. Working on some rust repair in the wheel well here. Don't know if you can see it very well. right here, there's a curve which makes this flat. And then that goes up to this curved bit in the arch, and because it's an arch, it's arch-shaped. Which makes for a very interesting patch. What I have so far is this. It's roughed out. See, it's mostly straight on one side, and starting to get a curve on the other. Let me show you how I've been doing that. Over here at the vise. Now to keep the flat part flat, very simply just been putting it in the vise. I have the center of that arch marked. It's right there. So that gets clamped down. Then I use my dolly like that with a curved hammer, and I hit it right there. And because there's that hollow space in the dolly, it's pushing the metal back, creating the arch, and I move it along as I go up and down. Can't do it with one hand though. So that keeps the bottom flat and then creates that curve. So now it's starting to look like Frankenstein. I got this patch in that I was showing you, where it bumps out here, it goes back in, and then I kept working. This was fun, just a nice curved piece. It's amazing to go from floppy, rattly, rusty stuff to this is solid now. Well, still needs a bit, but it has a completely different feel to it. Still needs completely welded up. It's just spot welded for now, but that's all the rust on the on this wheel well. Flip it over and do the other one. Good morning. It's day 42. It's a blistery 7 degrees Celsius outside. Makes it not too bad in the shop. I'm playing with this door some more. I have the fender bottoms, the repair panels clamped in place. The car's on its side, so it looks funny. And the this outer sill thing. Trying to figure out how things line up. You can see door panel comes this way. Right here, there's a gap, about a 1/2 inch. It's consistent though. It's a consistent 1/2 inch, which, you know, consistency might be easier to deal with than inconsistency. There's some funny things though. These sills on the bottom don't go all the way out to where the parts want to line up. Funny things like that. Anyway, they also need to be trimmed down so they would lay down better. But gonna be a brand new car after all this. Still haven't figured out why the door's sitting up like that. I'm gonna take this all off now and compare the where the hinge goes to the new hinge piece. Maybe the new hinge piece will drop it down where it needs to go, and it'll all be good magically, you know. And unicorns are real, and leprechauns. Anyway, just playing around trying to get stuff to fit. No, your computer's not upside down, the car is. Just doing a little patch. It's the end of the day on Friday. This had, which way did it go? It was like that. Showing, rust holes on both sides, so I just cut the whole thing out. I've just welded in this little patch, and I'm about to make this other patch. I'm gonna see on the other side. I cut off this. Maybe you'll be able to use this on as a patch on here. This I don't know if I showed you this. I went ahead after lunch. I think it was after lunch. Cut off the B-pillar on the upside down on the passenger side, and started fitting the panel I made in place. So I copied the first panel that I bought, and then I had to make adjustments to the first panel. And guess what? I got to make those adjustments to the panel I just made too. Yeah, that's all right. You can see I did it the same way. You can see upside down. I cut slits in there and bent it down, and relief cuts, and I did it before I tacked it onto the car, so it was easier. Yeah, so that's in place. I have a plan to line them up with the doors. I'll show you that later. Foreshadowing. Ooh, anticipation. Bet you can't wait for the next video. Well, you have to. That's it for this week. If you liked this video, click the like button below. If you want to come along on the ride as we complete this project, click the subscribe button. If you want to make sure Google reminds you every time there's a new video, click the alarm bell. Your support is very much appreciated.